This is Kat,
And this is Saskia,
and this is Note to Self.
your weekly dose of everything that's just simply too long to text. So we have a special guest.
We have a new member.
Guys, if you're not watching video, it's a real puppy and it's not a pretend one.
It's a real life dog. Saskia got a dog, so I had to get a dog.
What would Saskia do? But Kat had to up-level it and get a real dog to upstage me from my dog.
Albert.
Albert, meet Louie.
So for people who are not camera on and listening to the audio, my partner and I adopted the most beautiful little baby dog. I can't.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Baby dog.
I cannot say
Puppy?
that.
Puppy?
I cannot say that. Called Albert, and he came from Puerto Rico. And he is the most beautiful little creature in the world.
He's so precious. Wait, put him on the table. Let him walk.
This is
Let him free.
This is teaching bad
Let
habits.
him free. Hello, Miss
Let him cook.
Albie. Albie, come here. Or what do we call him?
Bert.
Bert, come here.
Anything but
So-
Al.
Guys, my dad's middle name is Albert, so I think that Kat named him after me, my dad. And
Oh my gosh, look how sweet you are.
why am I holding him like this?
So Albert is, we think, around 7 months old, and we've had him for 1 month today,
He's really precious.
and he is the most docile, polite, handsome, yes, you are,
you are.
angel baby.
Okay, I'm going to put him
Okay,
down.
I brought him, A, to introduce Saskia, and B, as an emotional support dog in case you cry in your debrief, which I am not mentally prepared for, so I had to bring another living thing.
We needed the emotional support dog. I mean, if you had got me, like right after Burning Man, which we were planning to record this podcast right after Burning Man, I stayed in LA to decompress a bit more. I would have probably cried my way through the podcast.
I know.
I actually don't think I could have talked about the experience at that stage.
It genuinely caused me minor anxiety because I thought, I don't know how I will be able to sit there without trying to make a joke out of my anxiety.
You're like, ha, ha.
I'm like, massage.
Wait, what?
I don't know. See, that's exactly what it would have
Just absolutely, you're just like gibberish words coming out.
And you would have been like, that's a really not empathetic. So to prepare for this, in case there were tears, I decided to go to the extremes, adopt a dog.
Perfect. What would Saskia do?
And bring Albert onto the show.
The reason...
Show.
Yeah, it is. It's a show.
He's adorable.
The reason Kat adopted this dog was for this actual episode that we've been leading up to. It was all for Burning Man.
What would Saskia do?
I'm actually really glad you brought him. Girl.
So tell me.
How do I even dive into this? I have taken notes because I had to. It's too much to happen. I kind of broke it up into like a series for you. I had to. I was like, how do I story tell this?
I am all ears. Albert is all fluff ears, and we are ready to. If you hear
Let's dive in.
anyone who's listening, if you hear any chewing in the background,
It's Albert.
it's not me gnawing on a table like the ones.
Yeah. You just zoom over. It's like,
I'm like,
there's a chew mark on the edge of the table.
yeah,
I always
just
wondered
but
what
for
that was.
from my teeth. That's how I mark my territory on this table. That's in very good condition.
That would be really unhinged. Imagine like coming in and seeing your friend on the edge of the table, just like that's something out of a horror movie.
Nothing would surprise me at this point.
Me doing that?
No, just anyone. If
True.
I saw
We live in
someone-
New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I saw someone gnawing or nibbling on nibbling,
It's a little nibble.
just a little sweetie treaty. I would say, all right, well, as long as that does not interrupt my commute, then I'm okay.
Yeah, right. Fair. You're
Yeah.
like, if it doesn't affect me, you do you. Bitch.
Yeah,
You do
that's
you.
fine. It's what's that show that My Strange Addiction?
I've never seen it.
I have not. I've only seen clips of it, but there was one woman who was addicted to eating the couch stuffing, like the
What?
foam in the couch.
How is she alive?
I think that we inhale a lot more toxic products
Than
in
we
this day and
realize.
age than in when that was filmed. We also live in a highly populated.
I mean, she for
populated and
sure
pollutioned
would have had
city.
stomach issues.
Don't we all?
Yeah, true. Yeah. What's a bit of a couch cushion?
Wouldn't
right?
maybe the foam from the couch would actually help absorb
all the other
and
stuff.
Yes.
Don't quote us on that, guys. That's definitely
That's
wrong.
not,
but
yeah,
let's
it's
go
an
with that.
asterisk.
Medical podcast.
Medipotty.
So we saw My Strange Addiction, and no. Okay.
No. Okay, so hit me with the BM.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I went to Burning Man. Obviously, I've been talking about it for fucking ever. Girl, I have not told like anyone the full story yet.
I know. So just to sidestep for a second, our friends are being asked Saskia how Burning Man was, and she goes, I'm saving it for the podcast.
Yeah,
and
truly.
we're like, what?
I've not told anyone. I was like, you gotta listen to the podcast.
That is some marketing in itself, but I thought,
What can I do? You know, always marketing my life.
that's why Albert is here as the emotional support.
Yeah, marketing
The timing,
the dog.
the timing is...
Well, I've broken it into stages, so we'll go through it all, right? I'll take you on the full journey.
Okay.
So I leave here, we go to LA a week early, right? This is what I'm calling the preparation. It's called BBM, before Burning Man.
That actually has a nice ring to it. BBM.
Right?
It's like BDSM.
It is. I'm sure BBM stands for something, but in this context, we're saying before Burning Man. So painting a picture, we did an apartment swap with one of Jeffrey's friends. So they came here. They live in LA. We were at their place. And it was me, Jeffrey, and my other friend who was with us, who we were going all to Burning Man together and meeting a larger group there. Girl, week before was fucking madness. Like just hundreds of Amazon orders arriving, ordering the water from Costco. We also drastically overestimated how much water we needed.
I think that's an okay overestimation.
They told us what you needed per day, but we messed up the calculations, and then we had like 3 times the amount of water that was recommended.
That's fine.
It was insane. Like we had like 36 giant gallon bottles of water. It
For
was
how many
too
people?
much. For 3, but they're so heavy.
Oh, okay.
It was too much. You didn't need that much. Did not at all. Like it was insane.
think if you were going to bring too much of something, I
Water
think
would
water
be it,
is
right?
the okay thing.
Ours was like too much of too much though. But anyways, so you just have all this shit arriving, right? And then you have our e-bikes that we're picking up and like getting those built, and like everything had a fucking issue. The day before we leave, we pull out my friend's tent to like make sure it was all good. And for those little cough from Albie over there. Excuse you. We did these things called shift pods, and they're these like massive tents, super easy to set up. You kind of just like go underneath them and push them all out, and I think it was like 6 feet by 6 feet. No, it was 12 feet by 12 feet. I don't know. They're big. Like you have a queen size mattress in there, like a blow up mattress. You can kind of set the whole thing up. We had Coke racks. Like it was all really nice. And you have AC units. So my friend had got her tent, and we realized like a part is missing. And then we were also getting her AC, which she bought it all secondhand on Facebook Marketplace. They didn't put the parts for the AC in it.
What?
Yeah, so stupid. So this is the night before we're meant to leave. And because it's like an older shift pod, we had to get a very specific AC. So we're tracking down the whole of fucking LA looking for this AC. One Costco has it that's like totally far out. It's like a 45-minute drive out of LA. So she had to get a Costco membership, and we had to, after we like the next day we packed everything. We didn't even leave the place until like 5 p.m. and we were meant to be driving 6 hours to Mammoth. We had to drive an hour out of the way to get this bloody AC unit. It was just like we already started the trip where we were just so tired because every night you're up packing everything, labeling stuff, getting all the snacks. Like, to be fair, we were over prepared. We did have way too much stuff.
That's okay.
Next time we know,
yeah.
Right? But anyways, so we end up not even driving to Mammoth until 7 p.m. And we get in at, I think, 1 or 2 a.m. and we have to unpack the car into the place because it's all outdoor parking. So in the middle of the night, we're pulling everything out of the car, fridges, AC units, shift pods that are heavy, upstairs into our bloody Airbnb. We go to sleep at like 3 a.m., sleep a few hours, wake up, have to repack the cars. The amount of unpacking and repacking you do for this thing
driven me nuts.
It was fucked. So then we get to Reno, and I get a message from my other friends who are driving from Santa Barbara, and they're like, we forgot our AC unit. And I was like, get fucked, not another AC problem.
Are you serious?
No joke. So we were running around, we go to Costco, all sold out in Reno, of course, because like everyone there is prepping for Burning Man. You're going to the vintage stores, it's filled with burners, like everything is Burning Man related. It's kind of crazy. Like Reno turns into this Burning Man town that's prepping everyone. So we go to Costco and we see this guy returning one AC. And I was like, I'll take that one. And it's the one we needed. So we buy his return. All these like weird synchronicities happened. But essentially, like long story short, spend the night there. At this stage, we've had like no sleep though. And we're up early the next day, packing the cars, and we meet up with my other friends and we end up driving to actually Black Rock City at around 8 a.m. It only takes about 2 hours from Reno. It's not far. So you're driving out there, but you have to think of things like, when do we fuel up our car at the last possible moment? You don't want it to be the last one because there's massive lines.
Yes,
so you want to
true.
do the one right before the last one. And then it was like, I was panicking. Was like, we should just get a thing of gas just in case.
That's actually pretty smart.
It was, but
Yeah.
I didn't even know how
Yeah.
to do it. I was like, how do you? It was just so many like camping things that I just could not work out. So we get there and we're driving in and, pretty smooth. We're already in the line, and Burning Man creates a radio station during the week. So they have people constantly on the radio playing music, talking, like having updates. It's all volunteers. Most of them are people who like work in radio generally. And they're saying, it's about a 7 to 8 hour wait in the line. And we knew that. So we went in, we had snacks. I had my TV shows downloaded.
We had snacks.
We had snacks.
Everybody, we had snacks.
We were prepared for this 7 to 8 hour journey. So we get into the line and we knew like, yeah, whatever, we're prepared 7 to 8 hours. And it was about hour 7. So we were like an hour away from getting into the gate. And we were like, great, we're nearly there. So exciting. And they announced it over the radio, a dust storm is coming in. And you just see this huge like plume of dust coming towards you. So we like have to close all the air vents. We like put our masks on, and you're just sitting there as this like dust is around you. You can't see anything. And it was like kind of scary, but I was like, whatever, it'll pass. It will go through. So it passed pretty fast. It was like 15 to 20 minutes. And then the rain starts. And that's when things start to get pretty fucked. So
I would have not have been okay. I would have gotten so claustrophobic.
That's exactly what happened. Because it started to rain, and they were like, we'll keep the gates open. It wasn't too heavy, but then it just did not stop for like a few hours. So they had to close the gates because everything just turns to clay. And if you drive on that, it fucks it and it makes it so much worse. And that's what happened a few years ago is they didn't shut it down fast enough. So that's when the mud year happened, is it just got so muddy. And it dries really fast because it's the desert, but it was nighttime. So we had to wait, and they were like, pretty much they said over the radio, we're going to be closing the gates overnight. It'll probably be another 8 hours until we can open them.
Fuck that.
I had a fucking meltdown. I was like, you're kidding. Like 8 hours? I was like, we've run out of food. I mean, we had all these snacks, but they're in the back, like totally packed away. I didn't even have my proper boots out because I didn't think it would fucking rain. So like the porta potties are a 10-minute walk down because we weren't in an RV. We're in a fucking truck. And I'm just like, oh my God, how are we going to get out of here? Like started to have a mini panic attack.
I would have. Straight up, I would have.
It was not good. And I had to honestly like talk myself down. You're okay. Tanya and I ended up walking down to the porta potties. That's my friend who we were with. And I had to put Jeffrey's giant boots on. By the end, they were just caked in clay. And I was walking like, it took us so long. After that, I was like, I'm not drinking any more water for the rest of the night. Like, I will not be going back to those porta potties.
Why didn't you just pee out of the pee? Like,
no, because you can't leave a trace. Like, if you're caught peeing in the desert, everyone will hate you. Like, even the guys, like Jeffrey had to pee into bottles, like empty bottles we had. It was so fucked. So I get back into the car, and my friend's in her own car. Jeffrey and I were together. I pull out my duvet and the pillow, and I just was like, I need to fucking go to sleep. Like I'm a baby at this stage. I'm like, I'm gonna put myself to sleep.
you need a pacifier.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna cry myself all night. Because I was on Jeffrey like, this sucks. Why did we take time off work for this?
You did bring Jeffrey as your emotional support boyfriend.
He worked in that moment. It was great.
in that moment.
Key
shit.
to
Oh
the
shit. Oh
story.
shit.
And you're looking at people in RVs, and you can see their lights on, and they're like making dinner, getting cozy. And I was like, fuck those people. I was so mad. They have their bathrooms. Like, this is the case for an RV.
So,
it is the case for an RV.
So a lot of the other people had RVs. You guys were in like a van truck type of thing.
Not a lot of other people. Majority of people, I'd say, had like cars. Like, people were getting ready to camp. There was like RVs all around you, though. It's like maybe equal. I don't know.
Okay.
It's hard to tell the breakdown, but obviously you can see it because people had their lights on and it was nighttime. But you start to see everyone's lights go off. Everyone's like, okay, we're in it for the long haul, and you go to sleep. And around in the middle of the night, Jeffrey's like, I'm freezing because it's so cold. It's the desert, and I had the entire queen duvet. I was like, oh, You should have asked. Here's some.
You shouldn't have to ask for a duvet.
I didn't think I was asleep. I took the whole thing.
So Jeffrey was just sitting there, laying there, shivering.
Laying there. We couldn't even put the seats down because the car was so packed. So we're just, it's like I went to Australia essentially.
Oh my God.
16 hours, then the line starts to move. It's 5 a.m. And we are like, okay, I guess we're moving now, you know? And it takes another hour and we get to the front of the line. So it's been 17 hours in this fucking line.
Fuck that.
And we finally get to the front and then I have to go to Will Call to pick my ticket up. And someone else had bought my ticket, but it was under my name. I paid for it, my billing address, all of that. It was just like under their burner profile.
Okay.
And I get to the front and the woman's like, I don't think I can give you this ticket. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, it's not under your burner profile. I was like, yeah, but it's my name, my billing address, and my credit card. And I have all of that here. And she was just like, well, they're meant to transfer it to you. And I was like, I also have a message from the girl who bought it confirming that this is mine. Like her passport, everything, like confirmed it. And this woman, I started to have a panic attack. I was like, what do you mean? And like tears streaming down my face.
Oh my God.
Second panic attack for 17 hours.
This is not okay. This is not okay for the nervous system.
Dude, it was so fucked. It was so fucked. And then I could tell, she's like, well, no, this is not like the last, this is not a dead end.
Holy shit.
And I was like, yeah, fucking better not be.
This woman's like, oh God.
This woman's going to have a panic attack and collapse in
I've
front
been
of
trained
me.
for a moment like this. She's like going through the like old flip manual.
Yeah.
What to do.
What to say. So she types away. She's like, well, I can see they've picked up their tickets. I just think it was bullshit. I think she just gave me the ticket because she was like, I can't deal with this situation.
She was probably like if panic attack starts, jump to step 32, end it, do whatever they want, do whatever they desire.
So fucking true. So I get the ticket, get back in the car, and then it's another 20 minutes to drive to where our camp is situated. It's pretty impressive, like the whole city planning of it. There's they go out a month in advance and set this city up. So you have it's run like a clock where the streets that run this way are like 10 till 2. Oh my God. The dog is not being quiet. No, he's fine.
So we jinxed it.
10 till 2, and then all of the streets that run like along are alphabetized. So it really is this city. So we were 10 and F, so you have to drive all the way along the back to get down to where we are. So we're right on the end, which was great because it was really hard never to get lost. You always just knew, go to the end, you'll find your camp, which is great because it's kind of confusing.
I was wondering how you would find your camp. I had no idea the layout. Because I was thinking in a dust storm at night, if you're kind of fucked up, how you find your way back.
I mean, a lot of people get lost. I have a really good sense of direction, which we know.
You do.
So within 2 days, I was like, I know how to get around. It's just, I also think it helped that ours was so easy to find because we're on the end. I'm sure if you're more in the middle, it gets a little confusing. But honestly, you just follow it like a clock. So you kind of, if you're deep out in the deep playa, which is where all the art cars are and the DJs play, you can kind of look back and think, okay, that's one end, that's the other. If I'm at number 6, where is 6 and a clock? And you just kind of head that way and hope for the best.
See, that's smart.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people aren't thinking that, but no, so so we had day 1, which was the 17-hour entry. So I've now covered both of those.
Nope.
And day 2 is us getting in, and I have titled this day Thor.
Oh my God.
So we're setting up and getting the tent all sorted, and we're having so many fucking issues with power. Everyone's AC is working but ours. What? Third AC problem of the trip. Everyone had AC problems.
Well, things happen in 3.
Seriously. And I'm lying in the tent. At this stage, we've got the tent up, and I'm just got my little portable fan. I'm lying on the ground, tears just streaming down my face. I'm not even crying. I just got tears streaming
Just tears
down my
and
face.
sweat.
And I'm holding the fan like this. I was like, what the fuck? Truly, I was like, why did we do this? This was a fucking insane thing
God, I
to
wonder
do.
how many yeast infections there were from that.
Surprisingly, I was good.
Whoa.
I know, loved it. So it was, and Jeffrey at this stage had gone to the mechanic tent. So they have a tent for mechanical help. So they can help you fix your ACs, bikes, everything. This place is like a full-on city. So he goes there. They're like, I think it's a power problem. And he comes back, and finally the guy at our camp who is the head power guy, his name is Thor. And Thor comes in, and Thor to the fucking rescue. This man helped us the whole week. He brought in this super heavy duty like power thing. I don't know what are they called. I don't know. I just know it said Thor on it, and he was like jibber jabbering about like power and how he's like, yeah, the AC units from like that come from China. Sometimes they need like stronger power sources or something. He like knew about the specific AC units from different regions and what they need for their power source.
That is a very impressive skill set.
Dude, I mean, he's like a full-on electrician. So like he knew what was going on.
I'm not a regular electrician. I'm a full-on electrician.
The other guys were like, I don't know, just plug it in. I was like, you guys don't know what you're doing. Then Thor comes along. Thor is our best friend. Also, Thor is hot. And I did not realize it because in my like stress of everything, 2 days in, we're getting dinner or something. And I go to Jeffrey, is that Thor? I was like, Thor is hot.
I think if someone is coming to your rescue in a situation where you're like sweating your fucking clit off and then they fix that, they immediately go up in your books from an attractive standpoint.
100%. Yeah. I was like, this man knows how to get shit done.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Thor.
And he'd keep coming back and checking on us. We'd be like, yeah, we're doing well, Thor.
Did you just like accidentally break something else so
like,
that you had to fix?
Help.
I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, so that night, I go to sleep at like 7 p.m. I'm out. I sleep 14 hours. I was so fucking tired and just emotionally wrecked, right?
Wait, and Burning Man hasn't even started.
No, it started.
Okay.
We missed Sunday because of the storm, but technically it
it.
hasn't really started because everyone's in the same position. People who we were in the line for the storm, people who were at our camp were like, it was fucked. Like it was just such a mess. There was like nothing you could do. So like Monday, probably some people went out, but it was kind of the same. Like everyone's just fucking wrecked, right? Like you had such an intense entryway. So Tuesday is what I call day 3, which is the tease. So things start and you're like, great, this is our first day. Like, let's do it. Let's go out. Let's make the most of it. It takes us 2 fucking hours to get out. Like, you're just constantly losing shit. And my friend had said this to me. She's like, you were always looking for shit at Burning Man. By the way, I'd lost my phone at this stage. I lost it as soon as I picked up my ticket. My phone went missing after that. So part of this story is the phone is now currently missing. So I don't have a phone.
Holy shit.
No phone. I've weirdly been okay with it. I'm weirdly okay with it because all I can think is it's going to turn
Because
off.
you're so dehydrated from the AC not working.
So it takes so fucking long to get ready because you got to fill up your camel pack and then you've got your little pack and you're like, what do I need? My masks, my goggles, bloody hand sanitizer, snacks, like anything you could think of, lip balm, like all the little things, sunscreen. And then we had to get lights on our bikes because we were like, we'll probably go out later tonight. So we have to make sure our bikes are lit or they can't see you. You have to have lights on you at nighttime at all times. So finally we get ready and we go to my friend's camp that's on the other side. And they were from New York. It was a big New York camp. And we get there and my friend walks up to me who's there. She's like, what the fuck? And I was like, I know. She's like, are you having fun? I was like, no.
Oh my God.
She's so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. But in a way, it was kind of great because we just drank and we were like, this feels better just to let it out.
Yeah, you guys are trauma bonding.
Trauma bond. Yeah, her, me, and my other friend were just trauma bonding. And it was really fun. Tons of cool New Yorkers. It was a cool camp. Coincidentally, Jeffrey's high school girlfriend is the person who started this camp. And then my friend's friends now run it. Weird world.
Small world.
Small world, but also weird world. So we're like finally starting to feel that things are happening, right? And then we go back to the other side of Burning Man. There's this big music venue called District, and it's like straight out of Mad Max. Like very kind of sandy colors. You have these aerial dancers, tons. It's all outside. It is so fucking cool. You just feel like you've walked into a Mad Max set. And Mira, this big DJ from Berlin, is playing. What's also really interesting about Burning Man is all the DJs, they don't get paid. They're all just out there volunteering. So every DJ you see is just being like, I want to take my time, give back to this community, and go to Burning Man and get to DJ. I just loved that. I didn't know if they got paid.
I didn't know that. But I don't know anything about
Well, I wasn't sure. I always wondered. But when I heard that it was all volunteer-based, I was like, I have such respect for the DJs that are coming out here. And they're big DJs that are playing. So it was really cool. So we saw her, and then we were like, we'll go back, get ready, and like it's our first night out. So we get back, starting to get ready. We're in the camp with 2 of our other friends, and all of a sudden it starts to rain again. And we're like, it's fine. It'll pass. My other friend, he'd been asleep all day, and he was like ready. He's like, tonight's the night.
That would have been me. I would have just slept.
He just sleeps all day and goes out at night.
Yeah,
He's like, it's too hot, I can't. And it doesn't stop raining. And we look outside our tent, and it is Like the most flooding you've ever seen. So much fucking water. My other friend's tent starts to flood.
Fuck
her ground.
this.
My other friend's tent leaking from the roof. Ours, I find a fucking rip in the ground, so I have to plaster it. We're using our radios because we've got 4 tents with our little group under our shade structure.
I don't like this.
We've got our radios. We're like, I need duct tape. Does anyone have duct tape? We're throwing duct tape to each other because no one wants to walk out in the mud because it's so fucked. I've got my big Crocs though. My big Crocs were definitely a good thing to bring.
There are so many layers to this.
It was pretty fucked. To be fair, at this stage, I think I'd become numb to it because I was like, this is so fucked. And I'm like, I just need to go to sleep again. My poor friend who'd been asleep all day was like, guys, I can't sleep anymore. And I was like, take it. What's the thing that makes you go to sleep?
Melatonin?
No. Like the one that people, like the actual drug.
There are so many.
I can't remember. It's like,
Prescription?
yeah, I can't remember what it is. People take it for like anxiety and stuff.
Xanax?
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
take the Xanax. Yeah, that's the one. What's the common one that people take?
I was like, yep.
I was like, melatonin's not gonna
Nope,
do it.
that's not going to cut it.
So we go. I have another great night of sleep. I had more sleep at Burning Man than I did prepping for Burning Man at this stage. And it was such a fucking tease, man. Like, you're ready to go. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And
Like,
it's just pissing down.
Yeah, and you don't have a choice. Like, you just have to give way to the weather. Like, there's nothing you can do. So thankfully it stopped. And by the time we woke up, it was pretty muddy still in our area, but everywhere else had dried out. So finally, this is day 4 and it's happening is the name of this day.
Wait, just for context, how many days?
This is day 4.
No, but how many days in total?
8.
Okay, so we're halfway through.
Halfway through that has been a wash.
Okay, literally.
Yeah,
literally. It's literally been a wash.
And we had to spend the morning cleaning up my friend's tent because it was so fucked. Poor thing had a meltdown and she was by herself. So she was like scared. And like we had to clean out her whole tent, redo the flooring. It was so fucked.
This sounds like an actual fucking worst night. This is like if someone wanted to torture me.
Dude, I'm truly saying, why the hell did we take time off work for this? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But day 3, it's happening. So, I'm just so emotionally fucked at this stage, though. Like, it's kind of hard for me to let go. But we go to a day party, but I'm just so like, oh, God. Like, it just has been so intense. It's hard to be like, let's have fun now.
And like constantly being around people too.
I mean, that I was I didn't have an issue with that yet. Like, I actually never had an issue with that until the very end when I was like, oh, I'm ready to go. But because like we had our own little tent, like you had your alone time, which was nice. So there was moments where I could just be by myself in the tent and relax. If you were sharing an RV with people, I think you'd be like, oh my God, I need some
That's a good
space.
point. Yeah, that's a good point.
It was more just, you've just gone through an emotional fucking roller coaster and now it's like fun.
Oh my God. That felt, your face just then, for anyone who is just listening to this, Saskia's face looks like one of those like freeze frames of when you try to tell a kid to smile during school photos and they're like incredibly stretched out and like overly teethy.
That's like two lines of teeth. That's truly it. So Jeffrey was like in it though, and he was just so having such a blast during the day, and he kept being like, "It's happening, it's happening." But now I laugh. At the time, I was like, "You're so annoying."
But I can understand how it's frustrating if someone else is able to get into it and you're still trying to.
Oh, I was just like
It's
so in my
annoying.
head, and I had to like walk away for a bit. I went like out into the desert and just kind of like calmed down.
Yeah.
And I think like once we got into the evening, then this was like I'd heard Black Coffee was playing, and he's a really big DJ, really wanted to see him. My friends had gone, and we were like, they're like, meet us at XYZ. And we had to bike across the entire playa to get to the total other side of the kind of town. And I was on a fucking mission. And advice that I had been given is don't chase the party. I was chasing the party hard because I was like, I have to let go and go to things that come my way.
That is exactly
Exact opposite. Exact opposite. Because I thought that they had said that this was happening. It meant it should come insane. So I'm on my bike. Tanya and Jeffrey, she doesn't care if I use her name, are following behind me. And I'm just like going so hard. There's so much wind. We're like nearly falling over on our bikes. But I was like, we must go on. Like,
No.
so nutty. We get to the other side and there's no one there. And we end up talking to this other camp. They're like, oh yeah, see that big like laser green light? That's like Mayan Warrior, which is a big art car. They're like, that's where he's playing. They're like, he's probably over by now. And I was like, what what the fuck? I was so upset. And my friend at this stage was like, I'm done. Like, I just need to like go and do my own thing. And like, I'm so tired. She's the one whose tent was fucking leaking.
God.
So she goes off to just have like more of a chill night. And we were hosting a big white party that night around this area. So we were like, we'll just hang out here until our party starts.
These white parties, they keep
They
chasing
keep
you.
What is happening?
They
right?
keep chasing you. Did anyone? I was gonna say something mean. Don't worry.
So I'm just like so drained, and starts to get to the evening, right? It's nighttime, and when I tell you Burning Man is a different place at nighttime, it's so hard to explain. I have never seen like pictures or videos from it at nighttime, and it would never do it justice anyways. It is the most wild thing you have ever seen because it's so dark. All of a sudden, just like more and more lights. There's like more art cars coming out that you've never seen before. So there's like hundreds of art cars, thousands of bikes covered in fluorescent, like bright colored lights. Everyone's in lights. You're just like, there's just fucking lights everywhere. And it's like a carnival. And the place where our party was happening was this big outdoor venue. And we were there at the very start when it was a small group of people. And it just started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And at this stage, I started to just be like, I have to let go and just fall into the experience. And I was really bummed because we'd lost all of our friends. So it was just Jeffrey and I. We couldn't find any of our friends. And you just start seeing more and more art cars popping up. And then there's like five balls of fire on each side of the DJ stage. And the fire's timed to the music. So like when the beat drops, the fire's going off. It was so fucking cool. Like I cannot tell you.
This is like some under the sea shit.
It was wild. Yeah. And just the amount of art cars, I just could not believe it. It was so different to anything I ever expected. I didn't even know it was like this. So we're walking around and I was a bit bummed because we couldn't find our friends. And Jeffrey and I are in the crowd. And this is when I started to see the magic of Burning Man. Is we see two people walking towards us in the crowd, and they're my two friends from New York.
Oh shit.
Yes. And I was like, they were like, we lost all our friends. I said, we lost our friends. I can't believe we found each other. So we ended up spending the night, the four of us together, and just wandering around and going to different music things. And we were out with them till probably 3, and then they were leaving the next day.
3 a.m.
Yeah. And then as they're leaving, we run into another group of our friends who were people we were camping with. So then we're with them, and then we're going to see this DJ called Tycho do a sunrise set. So because they do these sunrise sets every morning.
Cool.
So we're driving in, and you're in deep playa, and you're seeing the sun is coming up behind, and our friends that we ended up being with, they've gone before. They're like, you have to come out to what's called the trash fence. So the trash fence is a fence they put up around the very outside of Burning Man. It stops like anyone from going further into the lake bed. Okay. And it's the very furthest you can go, and you're in just the desert. And you look up and you see the sun rising through the mountains.
That's beautiful.
It was so fucking beautiful, and it's just endless, and very, very far away is the desert, are these mountains. And then you have like Tycho playing in the background. It was so magical.
Was that the moment you just thought, okay,
it's
worth it?
100%.
Yeah.
I said, it's worth it. And also at this stage, because it's 7 a.m. in the morning, you start to see a few people being a little tweaky.
Oh my gosh, of course. Just the tweaks coming out.
The tweak was real. I was like, oh, I don't think I like that.
The creatures, they can't hide in the dark.
It was fascinating. I was definitely like, guys, let's just stay in our little group.
Yeah, there's something that I can imagine about the tweakiness and the overall. I mean, that many days of that intensity and that many, extra fun things to enhance the situation.
Extra things, and not everyone's doing
extra
that.
lollies.
There was plenty of people who were totally fine, but there were some tweakers.
Yes, and you're just like,
it's like, that's interesting. Anyways, it made me laugh. I was like, oh god. Anyways, as we're walking back, we see a guy on his bike, and I was like, wait, that's blah blah blah. And it's a friend of Jeffrey's, her partner. So it was like everyone that we knew at Burning Man, other than 2 of our friends from New York who we did not see. We saw everyone else though.
What?
It was so crazy. That's when I was like the magic of this place, and it was just so funny. And then so we go back, and at this stage we're becoming night owls, right? Because you're going to sleep at 9 a.m. And this is people had said your kind of whole schedule changes. So we slept the whole day. And we get back and we finally run into our other friends from New York who we were actually camping with. And they had been at the same party as us because we were going to meet there. They're like, where were you guys? We were like, we were at the back because you guys always like to stand at the back. They're like, we were at the front because you guys always like to stand at the front.
And your walkie-talkies were not...
Tanya had taken ours, so we actually didn't have ours. Yeah. But yeah, it was fine. So the next night we had like a really great night with them. And I called the next night the greatest morning of my life.
Wait, do we need to save part 2 for the next...
No. We have more than enough time. Okay. Yeah. No, I think we should just finish the whole thing. I don't need a part 2. So day 5 is the greatest morning of my life. And like, we won't go into all the details, but it was just like another really fun night out, went to a cool camp. And that morning we saw Rufus Du Sol do a sunrise set. Dude, I could cry at this point.
We've just calmed the hound.
It was like, we got there at 3 a.m. and we had such a good spot. And my friends have these portable fold up stools.
Smart.
We need to get these.
Smart.
I know. So you pull them out and you can just sit. It was amazing.
Smart.
So we had this great little area, and then we could use them to stand on. So you could like be above the crowd. Rufus comes on around like 5:30, and the stage for this set, the art car, they spent like $30 million on. It was the most wild lighting.
That is a disgusting amount of money for that. However,
well, all of it's all fundraised.
Yes.
So they just get it from people. So it's not even like they're spending it. It's like people have donated to them to be able to build this. So they build with whatever they have, right? But they had like obviously a lot to be able to spend on it. But like 30 million is actually not that much when you think about how much they spend on like a show in New York at Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean?
Money,
and this is free. Like, so this is why I think it was cool, because like they're building it for a band that's not charging them to pay. Like Rufus would be so expensive normally to book.
I really do like Rufus.
I know. And they come every year and they do this sunrise set. But the stage, like when I say the amount they spent is just the visuals were crazy. They had this beautiful orb that they'd created with all these crazy lights. And it was this very famous art car that apparently has been around forever. It's called the Maxa art car. And it kind of looks like a rabbit or something. But, oh, girl, like you were standing on the stools and you just look out to like a sea of people and all these cool flags and like crazy costumes, and then you start to see the sun coming up behind them.
That's beautiful.
It was so beautiful. And then halfway through the set, you look into the sky and there's 15 parachuters coming down with all these ribbons and flags behind them, and there's a big Puerto Rican flag coming in. It was so fucking beautiful. I cried. My other friend cried. We were like hugging each other, singing "Treat You Better," and I was just
that does seem like a really magical moment.
It was so fucking magical. It was so magical. My friend who's gone 7 times said, I've never seen anything like that.
Damn.
She said it's the best set she's ever seen. And Jeffrey's like, I had no idea Rufus was this good. I was like, I've only been telling you forever. I've only been telling you.
Guess who was right, motherfucker?
Told you.
Guess who was right?
It was just so, seeing like my favorite band in like the most beautiful setting. You feel like you're not on this planet. It's really wild.
I would not like to be on this planet.
That's what I think why people go is because I genuinely had moments where I was like, I'm on Mars or something. It did not feel like planet Earth. It was wild.
Yes.
Just it's so fucking crazy. So that was amazing. Day 6 is called Childlike Wonder. I'll be short on this one. It was just like a little art night. We were so wrecked. We're like, Rufus, we peaked. We can never go back.
Good.
I'm done with the music. My friend and I just like biked around, looked at art, and there was all these like fun things you could climb on. I felt like a little kid again. And that was so beautiful to do that. And it didn't need to be a party. Like it can just be you can really have the experience you want to have.
In a child.
Totally. And then the last, day 7, is what I would call the emotional downturn.
I've been waiting for this.
So Jeffrey and I went to like a workshop on conflict in relationships, which I'll dive into another episode.
Wait, at Burning Man?
Yeah, they have all these workshops.
That's cool.
So there's tons of workshops. There were so many more I wanted to go to, but I couldn't get to. But I was like, we have to go to one because it seems like such a miss when there's all these great people here that are doing these free workshops. We should go. This one was really fascinating. I'll dive into it in another episode though. But super we went to that, and it was just like, at this stage, like we were just like bickering so much. We were just exhausted, man.
I
It's fucking
can
hot.
absolutely see that.
Yeah, like Burning Man makes or breaks relationships. And one of my key takeaways is going to be in that. So we'll come back to that. But after that, we went to Temple. And Temple is a place, they set it up every year. And people go to mourn people they've lost. And I like knew it would be really intense.
Oh God.
And it was like so fucking beautiful. Because imagine, it's a place where like people can go and mourn in public. So you have all these people here, and the people have created different like shrines for people that they've lost. There's people who've lost pets. They've got their photos of their pets. They're writing messages on the walls. People doing tea ceremonies, and like people just hugging each other and crying.
That's quite beautiful and magical.
It was truly one of the most beautiful things I've seen. It was really difficult. Like I was like just seeing the loss. You realize that like how much loss there is in this world. And I left a message for my grandmother, and like brought Jeffrey and was like, I want you to meet her, and like felt her like presence there.
Goosebumps.
It was really beautiful.
Shit.
I saw this like old lady who was like 70 years old who came in, and she was leaving a message for someone.
Spring chicken.
Girl. Yeah, I know, right? It was from kids to the age range is so fascinating.
Wow.
But I think if we had more places like that, I think mourning would be a lot easier for people.
That's a really, really valid point.
I mean, you look at other cultures, and mourning is a very public, community-based thing. Whilst in Western culture, it's silent and alone.
It's very shame-filled.
100%.
Yes.
And it was just so cool to see such a different way to do that. So that whole day, I was just rocked. Like I was rocked from being exhausted. I was rocked from that because it was just a very intense energy there. And then that night, the man burned. We packed up late that night and left really early the next morning.
Smart.
So we just drove out. We had no traffic. So it was great because we're like, we cannot do.
Oh my God. No
another
wonder you
fucking
needed like
line.
a decompression after. That sounds fucking hectic.
When people say like, oh, you need decompression, thank God we went to Tahoe, because we went to Tahoe for a week afterwards, and you needed it. I could not. I was just like, I just need to sleep and be in water. And we had all this packing up we had to do and clean everything. So it was intense, but I did have like my key takeaways.
Yes, I was going to say, what are
Wrapping
the
it all
takeaways?
together.
Yes, with a nice little Burning Man
bow. And we'll talk about it in a year when I go again. So yeah, I know this like sounds like, ugh, it's so like Burning Man, blah, 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 but it is a sacred place. It truly fucking is. I know you want to laugh, but
I'm
it
not lying.
fucking is. And people said that to me. I was like, okay, I'm spiritual, but I was like, okay. But you look around and just the land, it looks just so surreal, and it feels so in touch. And there's this crazy energy, like all the stories I've told you, like show the kind of weird things that happen there. So I also can see how it could make people a little loopy though, because it's intense.
I think I'd have a psychotic break, to be honest.
Honestly,
I truly
one of my
think
friends
that.
like, well, she didn't have a psychotic break, but she had like a really intense emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
She's like, all this shit comes out, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of goes into the next point, is like, so first thing, sacred place. Second is I was told don't make any decisions for a month after Burning Man, which was really good advice, because it like brings out all these shadows. It's weird. I don't know. I mean, I do believe in like the power of the universe and all of that. So
Completely.
I
Same.
think that that's a part of it. I also think when you go through a really intense experience like that, where you're very self-reliant, it brings up stuff that you didn't even know about yourself.
For sure.
So I feel
makes
like
sense.
the shadows, and I think for me, so much of it was just like, damn, my anxiety is way worse than I realized. Like, I think I've been like just managing it, because, you know, you're in New York, you're just go. And I think that was the biggest thing I'm kind of working through, is like, I need to probably work on my anxiety, because I couldn't let go most of the week. I was just like so held on to everything. And then, it's really hard in relationships in so many different ways. Definitely makes or breaks. Nearly broke us.
I was going to say, is that why Jeffrey's not here?
No,
I was like, shit.
He gets back tonight. So we broke up now.
Like, tune in next week.
Cliffhanger. Tune in next week to see if Jeffrey and I made it through Burning Man.
So I
we
see Albert will
made
be
it.
making a second appearance.
Yeah, just holding him. it was just hard, man. Like his shit was coming up, my stuff was coming up. We were just like, our inner children were just at the wheel. You know, I think I think with so many relationships, you want your partner to show up a certain way, and he wasn't showing up the way I wanted him to, and I wasn't showing up the way he wanted me to. But
in such a high stress environment, like it's physically taxing, it's emotionally taxing, it's like taxing in every possible way I can imagine. And then in such an intense environment for 8 days, like you can't even just kind of, I'm sure that you can pull away and like do your own thing, but you're still surrounded. You are not in the comfort of your own home.
Not at all.
You can't just kind of jump in your own bed, which I think is like such a safe space for a lot of people, hopefully.
100%. You have the background music of house music for 24 hours a day at all times.
I would still be hearing that.
Yeah, you just lose track of that. I'm like, this is how I live my life now.
That is actually very good advice about not making decisions for a month, because I think that I would still be hearing the faint thudding of house music for a month.
Truly.
So
you're so overstimulated. It's stimulation to the max that that was the best advice this woman gave me. And she was like an old OG burner. And thank God she's told me about that. OGBM, love her. And then 2 more. Temple should be a space we have in all communities generally. Totally believe that.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's create our own. Guys, who wants to come to my house?
You guys were streaking. Come on, we're going to Temple.
Wait, that would be so great though if like communities had these places to go. That's
food for thought.
Yeah, we can build on that. And then final one, I'll be going back again.
That trauma bond Stockholm syndrome, baby.
Yeah, right. I'll get back and just be like, but the thing is, it becomes like a game. Now I'm like, oh, I know how to do it better. You want to gamify it. You're like, I could go back. I would do this. I would do that. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that.
I would feel the same. If I had done it once, I would have wanted to go back again knowing what I knew, just to kind of make it easier on myself.
Totally. And there's so much you don't see. We didn't even really get to all the camps because the roads were so shit this year with the weather that we just stayed out in the playa most of the time. But the camps have incredible things going on that we didn't even see. So I know I did not make it to the orgy tent.
God
I know
damn
you were
it.
thinking
I thought that was your last takeaway.
Yeah. And well, the orgy tent blew away.
I did see that. I saw that and I thought, well, that is the most disappointing thing that I have read all week.
They rebuilt though. I mean, the news always like
how many
up,
bodies rebuilt the orgy?
I don't know. Were they naked? I saw a lot of naked men, gotta say.
Good.
No naked women though.
Oh.
I don't mind naked, but I thought it was interesting.
That's interesting.
Lots of naked men.
But
not
no
a lot
naked,
of naked women.
Interesting.
Are we surprised?
No.
Exactly. That's what all of us girls were saying.
Schlong dog millionaire. There's a lot of millionaires too.
Holy shit, they are. There's a millionaires camp. I was like, what's that like? But sure, they're not trudging through the mud.
Sure Thor didn't need to visit them for their AC issues.
Yeah, that's damn
I'm
right.
very glad.
Also did not see Channing Tatum, which I was sad about.
Was he supposed to be there?
He was there. There's so many videos of him like dancing, like doing dance-offs with people.
He, to be fair, and I say this in a very kind way, he looks a lot like a lot of other males.
It's also
he has that.
So hard to see people when you're all wearing masks.
True.
And like and it's dark, you know.
He's a beautiful man. But he was then dating someone like 25 or so years his junior.
He is now, after him and Zoe Kravitz broke off their engagement.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, not going to get into that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But that was everything.
I'm very glad that you enjoyed yourself. I'm glad that we had you had decompression. I was not, to bring it back to me, I was not emotionally prepared to have 40 minutes of tears. I was like, do I need to bring out some finger puppets?
Distractions. Only cried, teared up twice.
I'm very proud of it.
Rufus
You could have
and
cried,
Temple.
and that is okay. But I just
gotta hold it together for the people.
Yeah. Also, you would have gotten a migraine after.
Oh yeah, probably. Also, if you really are following What Would Saskia Do, WW.
I'm not going to Burning Man.
You're gonna go to Burning Man.
I'm not going to go to Burning Man.
Yes,
Can you imagine?
You're coming, dude. You would actually love it. I actually don't know if you would love it, but I think you would get there and surprise yourself.
Probably.
I don't know if I would ever get you there though.
No, I also think I probably, once I was in it, I would enjoy it. I think I would, in that process, I would have many a panic attack, feel very claustrophobic, and I would have a psychotic break.
You would have to do an RV. There's no way.
I would need to lock a door.
Yeah. And I'll kidnap you one year. It's totally fine.
Oh, that sounds kind of
Fun.
Ooh, talk dirty to me. What was Saskia do? Well, I'm very glad you're back in one piece, and I'm very glad that we had this debrief.
I know. I'm glad we could dive in. We have so much more to talk about. I didn't even. Sorry, guys. Long Burning Man episode, but we're all here for it.
That's why I had no notes for this ep.
And I had so many. But keen to keep diving in. I'm sure more things will keep surfacing. I mean, I'm not going to keep diving into Burning Man, but I do really feel like more stuff will keep coming up.
I'm interested to learn about the links of day to day and what you learned from Burning Man and how they kind of are integrated.
Me too, honestly.
That sounded very corporate.
No, but it's true. I'm intrigued to see how the things that came up for me, I start to work through.
Yes.
Stuff with Jeffrey and I'm open to, I would definitely will talk about with everyone, happy to dive into that one so we figure out what's going on with us. Now we're good now, but stuff to work through. And yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about my anxiety journey because I know I've had so many friends open up since I've started sharing how bad mine has been, being I'm really struggling too. So girlies, I'm out there for you. We are in this together.
Here for you, girly pop.
Bye. Bye. See you next week.